It was late last week that Interior Health put out a warning that there had been a cluster of 8 COVID-19 cases in Kelowna. The initial warnings were very general, involving numerous days and talking about Kelowna's downtown and waterfront areas. In the days ahead, more details emerged about possible contact points, including Discovery Bay Resort on Kelowna's waterfront.
Main inciting incident, it would appear, is were private parties held in those resort hotels. But when people come together for private parties, in this case, it's largely people in their 20s and 30s, the risks are considerably higher. They tend to be in enclosed spaces. They tend to involve people coming from different places, different walks of life, who may not know each other at all. And the risks of those kinds of events are higher. It's why we have limits on the overall sizes of gatherings, organized gatherings. But people, I think, have to show good judgment. But a private party, it might or might not involve alcohol. It makes it very difficult to maintain physical distance, to know who you're about. You're essentially and potentially, if you're going to such a party, significantly increasing your bubble. So I want people to remember how cautious they need to be.
There were a number of gatherings that we were able to link to cases, individuals that were in the infective period when they were at those gatherings. So that when we interview individuals, we begin to see that common place is being mentioned by more than one individual, and that's when we put an alert for the public. So what I can tell you, we cannot say exactly a story on how this started. What we know is that there were several individuals in Kelowna at the same time that were here out and about during their period of infectivity.
Interior Health let the public know that there may also have been exposures here at the Pace Spin Studio on Harvey Avenue. Does it worry you about the optics of it in your business?
Oh, the optics, of course, concerns everybody. But I mean, we have a very loyal clientele. Everybody knows what we do and how we do it in the studio. And I hope it doesn't affect us. You know, it's just like everybody in the community. We want to help everybody. You know, we don't want anybody to be affected by something like this, especially if it's a mistake. Somebody walks in and you know, and has something and exposes people to something.
The health authority also says there may have been some exposure here at the Boyce Gyro Beach Bed and Breakfast. But the owner here says none of his guests, as far as he knows, has coronavirus, and he's wondering why his business was singled out in this way.
It's understandable that the business will not like to be singled out, but our interest is the public health, and this is information that is in the best interest of the public to know.
Had you heard about this?
Yes, I have heard it.
So, does it make any difference in what you would do day to day, knowing that?
I do. I have a mask in my pocket because I'm worried about people walking around here and spreading it.
We're not really too phased. I mean, we're watching the symptoms and everything, and
if people
trying to just get on with our life, really.
If people are super worried, they can stay inside themselves.
Yeah.
But if we're going to engage and have events that bring people together in enclosed circumstances, in private parties, we have to be conscious both of the risks, not just the risk to ourselves, but to our parents, to our grandparents, to people we might know who have chronic diseases such as diabetes, and act accordingly.